welcome to another English language and literature video with me, John Patton. And if you're new to the channel, now's the perfect time to hit the like button, to subscribe to the channel, and to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my new videos that appear on the channel. 1984. Quote, "Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past." Who wrote the book? Nostradamus or George Orwell? Silly question. It's obvious it was George Orwell. But there are many things that have appeared in 1984 that have come true over the years. He has become a Nostradamus figure and has predicted many things from a dystopian point of view, which now exists in society. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. At first glance, this quote from George Orwell's classic novel 1984 may seem far-fetched or a little over the top. Yet it begs the question, was Orwell being prophetic, or was he just lucky? There are many themes and symbols from 1984 that are relevant to 2023. The novel follows the mundane life of Winston Smith, the main character, a low-level worker in the all-powerful party that controls the state. He becomes disenchanted by the severe and oppressive regime and starts to question the concept of individuality, something which INGSOC, the party that runs the state, drastically crushes at every opportunity. His intrigue about a life with freedom and free will is compounded when he falls in love. The question is this love permitted by the state? Orwell lived in a time of disarray, a time of conflict. He actually participated in the Spanish Civil War. This led him to include many different themes, which at a glance, apart from causing fear, are not without the realms of possibility in modern time. The themes of totalitarianism, the issue of surveillance and privacy, are abound all throughout the novel. From his idea of the thought police to the all-seeing and all-hearing telescreen. This may bring to mind the current situation of the Chinese social credit system, where you're rewarded or penalized by actions and socially acceptable behavior. Although this begs the question, who decides, who sets what is socially acceptable? The 2016 presidential elections in the United States reignited a concept which, in fact, has been around for a long time. Fake news. During the English Civil War in the 17th century, both the Royalists and the parliamentarians distributed false facts and obvious lies in pamphlets. Each side would glorify a minor victory, yet lessen or wrest importance from a major defeat. The modern technological age has taken this to a new extreme, seen during the presidential election. Yet this very concept of fake news appears as a main theme in 1984. The quote that I started this video with is precisely this. It's an example of the old saying that it is the person who wins, it is the victor who writes history. Winston, the main character, works for this very State Department, the Ministry of Truth, a department whose sole existence is to alter the past in every form newspaper reports, news broadcasts, or official documents to make sure they are in line with party and state policy. The Ministry of Truth pushes its own slogan in the very first chapter of 1984. War is peace, freedom is slavery, and ignorance is strength. In the edition of the book that I have, that's on page 4. In short, 1984 is a damning and powerful work in which Orwell masterfully foretells the dangers associated with totalitarianism. Some of his ideas are already evident in modern society. Others are in the process of being implemented. A few years back, I came across a university student with a rather interesting t-shirt. Printed on the front was the message, 1984 was not supposed to be an instruction manual. I remember having a little chuckle at the time. Now I see the more profound sense of the slogan. At the time 1984 was printed, it was received with mixed emotions, possibly as it was during the post-World War II era and leading into the Cold War. Some may have felt that it was too close to the bone. However, due to the themes and Orwell's masterful craftsmanship, it has become a classic, a must-read, and, in a sense, canonical. Orwell has used an adapted hero's journey plot structure, the hero being the main character, Winston, although he has adapted it to conform to the dystopian genre. It's written in 23 chapters, and Orwell has split it into 3 acts. The first, consisting of 8 chapters, presents the oppressive dystopian world in which the main character, Winston, lives. It deals with manipulation and the suppression of individuality, and hints at the possibility of forbidden love, or even the act of love being controlled by the state. The second act is 10 chapters long. Here, Orwell deepens Winston's dissatisfaction with the regime. He grows in defiance and thinks about rebellion. His personal feelings for others start to flourish. He thinks of a world with individuality, free thought, and freedom. The third and final act, consisting of 5 chapters, I will leave up to you. I'm not going to spoil the ending. Another literary device successfully used by Orwell is that of voice and tone. His surgical selection of vocabulary depending on the character, such as simple, uncomplicated language for Winston, yet intentionally vague language used by party officials. This creates an atmosphere which shows the reader the true, hidden, and pure emotions of Winston when he's speaking to his new love. She's called Julia. However, O'Brien, a state official, his words are much darker, striking fear into the other characters and causing a certain discomfort in the reader. And I quote, "I tell you, Winston, that reality is not external. Reality exists in the human mind and nowhere else. Not in the individual mind, which can make mistakes, and in any case, soon perishes. Only in the mind of the party, which is collective and immortal." Again, in the version of 1984 that I have, that quote's on page 249. This use of manipulative and loaded language allows Orwell to create well-developed characters with a deep sense of being. In this quote, O'Brien is clearly deluded, with an outpouring of party policy against individualism and the loaded, manipulative use of the supernatural word immortal conveys his utter disbelief that the regime cannot be defeated. Orwell's use of tone and voice brings the very essence of each character to life and provokes emotions in the reader. All in all, 1984 is a masterpiece. A classic novel full of profound themes, concepts and symbols. Full of literary devices, so many that they cannot all be dealt with in one single YouTube video. It's crafted by the artistic mind of George Orwell. It can sit proudly on the dystopian shelf next to Aldous Huxley's Brave New World or Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. 1984, a novel which will transcend time.